call the meeting to order. And we do have a quorum. All three commissioners are present. And at this time, we have the flag salute. Commissioner Jackson, would you like to lead us?
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, we're going to have public comment. And Tom Lotion, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. My request is for the board, the commissioner board. I'd like
you say your name and address just for
okay.
the record?
Tom Lashane. I'm an owner of a business in Washington, Lewis County. Long story short, I just come out of Alaska about 60 days ago. I've had a business in Lewis County for about 20 years. That's not why I'm here, though. I employ 35 people in Lewis County. I'm here to ask the board to look at something for me. I went through planning and zoning. I went through all the proper channels that we have to for expansion in the county. I'm talking about 185 Hamilton Road North. That's the area I'm talking about. There's 5 landowners out there that we have formed a landowner, whatever you want to call it, co-op, to bring the city water through. The city, and we're about 90 days away from all the engineering, all the engineering's done, excuse me, about 90 days away from accepting the bids and pushing it through. Going through the planning and zoning and the building process for expansion, I've been working on this for over 6 months. It has to do with wells. They want me to drill a new well to expand my property, to give me the permit process. I've went through them, talked with them. I'm getting nowhere. I'm asking the Board of Commissioners to look at this, evaluate this. I'm asking for my permits to be pushed through. The county or the city water, we're going to have that through in 90 days. I'm getting this. I see you want to ask me a question.
I do, sir, if you don't mind, not to
Go
interrupt
ahead.
you, but are you talking about dealing with the city of Napavine in this?
No, Chehalis.
Okay.
Yeah, the water ends, Napavine water ends up there on basically at the truck stop, Hamilton Road up there, or excuse me, up where on the opposite side of the freeway from McDonald's. The city water stops at there's a sale barn, like where it stops there. And so we're on the stretch there where the city ends. There's no water there. And so what we want to do, and what we're going to do, is push the water through because the city says it's going to be 1.5 years. And it'll be a lot cheaper. So what I'm asking for, and then is for you to look at planning and zoning, my permits to be pushed through. I have one permit that's been stalled out. I have another permit that I haven't issued or haven't put in because they postponed the permit. My existing well on the property is good. We've had all the tests done on the and given them the water samples, and they still denied it. Our request was, let us use the existing well. We'll tap into the city water system when it comes through, when we push it through, allow me to expand. And they've denied that. So I'm asking the commissioners, so I've come to the top, asking you to look down at your system and see if we can't do something. That's pretty much it. Any other questions?
We have your phone number and everything when you signed up.
Excuse me?
We have your phone number. We've got all your information so we can follow up with you.
Yeah, we've
okay.
got all the information here. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Next is Marty Wickland. Is that correct, Marty? Hope the last name's correct, right?
Yes, thank you for contacting me. Marty Wickland, A1 Timber, General Manager. Just to reiterate what Tom Machine was discussing, I initiated contact with the Public Works Department, the Sanitation Department, over a year ago, and working with Sue Kennedy and her group. Initially, we wanted to expand our office. We're a growing company, like Tom mentioned, when a large part of our workforce was up in Alaska. We've came down in the last 6 months, and we're expanding. And we need to expand our office and expand our shop. We decided to remodel our existing office and went through the process, had the well tested multiple times. It all came back clear. Unfortunately, the well has not been registered. It was drilled so long ago that's not in the system. However, the water came back fine. It's next to our shop, so there's some issues with the locality of the well. But all we were requesting was to have, like Tom mentioned, the well in use while we're preparing to dig the water line for the city water. And in fact, we just talked to one of the owners of the properties along with us this morning, and we are moving forward, like Tom mentioned. So all we want to do is initiate the process, start the building process, so when the building is completed, we can actually hook up to the water system instead of missing an entire building season, because as you know, in the wintertime, it's not the best time to build around here. So, we're just basically at this point in juncture of things, just waiting for the county to give us permissions. Instead of drilling a hole, we've already spent probably $4,000 on studies and engineering on a new well, and it just seems like kind of spinning our wheels and wasting our time when all it is just using a good well as it is and then hooking up to the new system. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How many employees did you say?
35 currently.
5? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's no more public, okay. I'd like to move to approve 2 proclamations. One honoring the 2017 2A state champion, the Chehalis Lady Bearcats Fastpitch team, as well as the proclamation honoring the 2017 2B state champions, the PL Willapa Valley Lady Titans Fastpitch team.
Second. It's Monday.
Yes.
Was that a second over there?
It was, sir.
Okay, good. That's what I thought. Okay. Commissioner Jackson, did you have?
Actually, you start, sir.
Okay.
You've got the Bearcats.
You have the Bearcats.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the honoring the 2017 2A champions, Chehalis Lady Bearcats Fastpitch team also, and thank everyone for being here. And I believe, am I on the agenda first? Here we go. Okay. First off, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. It is truly a pleasure for us to have all you young adults in here and the coaches, and I know that there's just been a tremendous amount of hard work that's went into this. I know you just don't show up and win a state championship or even get there in the first place, so thank you, both teams, for being here. So, at this time, whereas the WF West High School Girls Fastpitch team is comprised of high school girls fastpitch players, and whereas the team just completed a very successful season, very successful season, with a final 5-1 win over Port Angeles, winning the first place at the 2A state championships. And whereas the players, coaches, parents spend countless hours of practice traveling to and from games, supporting the teams, and whereas the Lewis County Board of County Commissioners wish to recognize the accomplishments and contributions of all those involved with the WF West High School Girls Fastpitch team. Now therefore, be it resolved that the BOCC commend the WF West High School Girls Fastpitch team for a winning season, and publicly thanking all the parents, coaches, volunteers in the community who supported this and other youth athletic teams. Done in open session this 12th day of June 2017. And Coach Keene, where are you at in here anyway? There he is, right there. And a big congratulations to you, and also, obviously, I understand that you are retiring. Is that correct? Okay.
Bring the kids up.
Let's bring the kids up, please. And first off, we're going to go ahead and we'll let you introduce yourself. And coaches too. You're going to be put on the spot too.
Well, my name is Lexi Strasser. I'm a pitcher. I'm a senior, and next year I'll be attending Central Washington University and playing softball.
And what's your vocational objective? What do you want to do?
What?
What do you want to do when you finish college?
I want to be a physical therapist.
Right.
Yes.
Excellent.
Bring the mic down. You want? Here we go.
I'm Ashley Hoven. I'm a senior, and I played outfield, and I'm going to CC to be a pediatric emergency nurse.
My name's Olivia Dean, and I am going to be a senior this year, or this next year, and just looking forward to another year of ball.
I'm Taylor Barker. I'll be a junior next year, and I play outfield.
I'm Mackenzie Moore. I play outfield, and I'm going to be a junior next year.
I'm Peyton Crawford, and I'm an outfielder, and I'm going to be a sophomore next year.
Peyton Lopez. I'm a catcher, and I'm going to be a sophomore next year.
Ava Fugate. I played third base. I'm going to be a sophomore next year.
My name's Annika Waring, and I play outfield, and I'm going to be a sophomore next year.
I'm Megan Corey. I'm teacher and coach.
Katie Liskey. I teach math and I coach.
Kevin Zolstra. I'm a teacher at Lewis County Juvenile and also a coach.
Mike Keene, head coach, teacher for 3.5 more days.
And how long have you, and sir, how many years have you been doing this?
Head coach,
Yes.
15 years. Teaching, 37.
Good for you.
It's a good feeling.
I have the privilege of reading the proclamation for the P.L. Willapa Valley Lady Titans. A couple things I'd like to note before I read this. First of all, Coach Ken Olson, your very first state championship. Congratulations, sir.
Yoo-hoo.
That's awesome. And also, you young ladies made history because this is the first, as I understand it, the first state championship in P.L. Willapa Valley history. So, nice job. Yes. Nice job. Whereas the P.L. Willapa Valley Girls Fast Pitch team is comprised of high school girls, fast pitch players, and whereas the team just completed a very successful season with a final 10-1 win over Napavine, winning first place at the 2B State Championship, And whereas the players, coaches, and parents spent countless hours at practices, traveling to and from games, supporting the team, and whereas the Lewis County Board of Commissioners wishes to recognize the accomplishments and contributions of all those involved with the PL Willapa Valley Girls Fastpitch team, now therefore be it resolved that the BOCC commend the PL Willapa Valley Girls Fastpitch team for their winning season and publicly thank all the parents, coaches, and volunteers in the community who supported this and other youth athletic teams. Done in open session this 12th day of June 2017. And Commissioner Fund is going to ask you to come to the microphone.
Yes. Yes.
And tell us all about yourselves. Yes. Coaches too.
Yep. Go now. I'm Dakota Brooks. Oh, that's loud. Okay. I'm a pitcher and I am a senior and I'm going to Centralia next year to play softball.
And what's your goal, your goal, your occupational goal for the future?
What are you going to study?
I don't know.
Okay. She's honest. She's honest.
Very honest.
That's a great answer, by the way.
I'm Brittany Patrick. I'm going to be a freshman next year, and I play third base.
I'm Cindy Pollard. I go to Willapa Valley. I'm a shortstop, and I'm going to be a senior.
I'm Cami Hill. I'm a utility player. I go to PL, and I'm going to be a sophomore next year.
I'm Cameron Atkins. I'm going to be a junior next year, and I play first base.
I'm Michaela Heath. I'm a utility player. I go to Willapa Valley, and I'm going to be a sophomore next year.
I'm Ellie Little. I'm a utility player at PL High School, and I'm going to be a junior next year.
I'm Rayleigh Smith. I played outfield, and I'm going to go to Centralia College next year to hopefully become a nurse.
Okay.
My name's Georgia Ritzman. I go to Willapa Valley, and I catch, and I'm going to be a sophomore next year.
I'm Grace Huddle. I'm a catcher, and I'm going to be a junior next year.
I'm Presley Peterson. I'm a utility player. I go to PL, and I'm going to be a sophomore next year.
I'm Kristen Smith. I'm a utility player, and I will be a sophomore next year.
I'm Katie Adkins. I play second base, and I'm going to be a sophomore next year.
At what school? Oh, at what school?
Willapa Valley.
Willapa Valley. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I'm Caitlin McGow. I go to Willapa Valley, and I'm going to be a sophomore next year. Oh, I play outfield too.
I'm Megan Krafsick. I go to PL, and I'm a utility player, and I'll be a sophomore next year.
Assistant Coach Brooks. I work for Lewis County.
Yes, you do.
We like what you do in the free time. Good job.
Hello, I'm Ken Olson. I'm the head softball coach for the Titans, and been doing it for 22 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's it. That's all I have.
It's okay. We'll fix it. I think you're going to need a squeeze. Archie, you want that table out of the way?
All right, everybody. And look.
job.
Dave Anderson to stand up and we will take them out.
Who?
Dave Anderson.
Edna?
Before we approve this proclamation, these proclamations, Dave, where are you at? Dave Anderson? Dave, what is the, can you help us out a little on the tours that that's going to take place here?
Yeah.
My hearing's pretty poor. What was that again, sir?
Tell us
The
about
tours.
the tour.
Tell us about how you're going to split them all up and figure out where they're going to be.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it doesn't matter to me. I'll take one group at a time. But what we'll do is we'll walk upstairs to the 3rd floor, and we will split you up into 2. I have my assistant that's going to take you on the jail side of the tour, which you'll get actually a couple of.
Kept there.
No.
You can get some really good Facebook pictures when you get behind the special use cell and take a picture through that. That's really cool. And the rest of you will go into the comm center with me, and then after a time period, we'll switch out, and you can go and we'll switch out and go to the other side. So I'm ready when.
We're going to vote on the proclamations, but we wanted it ready for you.
Okay, first off, congratulations to both the teams. We are very proud and very fortunate to have the programs we have here in Lewis County.
Make us
And
proud.
and maybe I'm just a little bit partial here, but I know that we have pretty much dominated at this level as far as a fast pitch for sure in Lewis County. So, and again, I know that Napa Vine finished second. We got WF West boys. I know that had a great season this year too, along with the Napa Vine boys. So it was a great year, and thank you for representing Lewis County. And I know that back in my day, when I was coaching, I always said, you're not just representing your team, you're representing the entire county when you go somewhere and travel, because that's where you're from. So again, thank you for putting out all that effort and making it a special time. And how many, can we have a raise of hands of just the seniors right now?
Wow.
Wow.
Some young teams.
Wow, so great. So there's a lot of pressure on the coaches coming in, right? Anyway, congratulations again.
And I wanted to add too, because Willapa Valley, you're in Pacific County, and I'm sure you're representing that area very well. I don't know if any other Pacific County teams made it to the finals. Anybody? So you guys were the only ones there too. So thank you.
Okay. A motion is made and seconded to approve 2 proclamations proclaiming honor in the 2017 2A state champions, the Chehalis Lady Bearcats Fastpitch team, and also proclaiming honor in the 2017 2B state champions, the PL Willapa Valley Lady Titans Fastpitch. Okay, any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passed. Congratulations. And at this time, we
You can follow. Mr. Anderson.
Come with me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
say goodbye to your dad.
Yes, yeah. I told the story to the kids earlier, but I was in a betting mode with the Kittitas County Commissioner about the Chehalis teams, and I wanted to bet on the girls' team. And unfortunately, when we were Facebooking back and forth, the girls' team was over, and he was reluctant to bet on that one. So then we did the Chehalis boys in Ellensburg, and so I have to send him some Chehalis mints because the boys lost. But anyway.
I move to approve 2 consent items. One, the approval of our minutes from the June 5th, 2017 meeting, and also Resolution 17-162.
Second.
Good morning, Commissioners. Suzette Smith, Chief Accountant, Auditor's Office, here to present to you Resolution number 17-162. Could you roll that down just a little bit? I just want to make sure you did receive the revised resolution this morning. Okay, that is the correct one. I had one revision this morning. I had an incorrect warrant number. I apologize for that. So last week we had 169 regular warrants, number 770919 through 771087, for a total of $1,546,339.92. In addition, June 5th was payday for our employees, so we had payroll and benefit warrants numbered 770722 through 770904, and automatic deposits number 1 through 494, for a total of 677 combined warrants and automatic deposits. Total dollar amount, $3,499,188.79. In addition, we note the following skip in sequence. These warrants were issued on behalf of our special purpose districts. Those district commissions are responsible for auditing and approving these warrants. Number 770905 through 770918. Any questions?
Can we scroll down to see that, please?
And it was the special purpose district warrants that the original resolution had incorrect.
Is it at the bottom of the resolution?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I had them ending at 917 and they actually ended in 918. This is the correct one.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. A motion is made and seconded to approve the consent items. There are two of them. Approve the June 5th, 2017 minutes, as well as resolutions number 17-162, approval of warrants, claims against various departments. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
I move that we approve the deliberation items, Resolution 17-163 through 166.
Second.
Good morning, Danette York, Director of Public Health and Social Services, and I'm speaking to resolution number 17-163. This is a resolution to approve an extension of the contract with Housing Resource Center for the McKinney program. So the total is $151,574, and this is from May 1st of 2017 through April 30th of 2018. You may recall that recently, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago with the holiday in there, you approved the contract that we received at the Public Health and Social Services Department from the state. So this is now subcontracting the majority of those funds out to the Housing Resource Center, who performs the direct services. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Wamsley with the Lewis County Noxious Weed Control Board regarding item number 2, resolution number 17164. So this is approving a participating agreement number 16 PA 11060300-25, modification 1, between Lewis County and the USDA Forest Service, the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest for Noxious Weed Control and management, and then authorizing the chairman of the board signature thereon. So this funding comes via the Secure Rural Schools Act and authorization by the Resource Advisory Committee from the North Gifford-Pinchot area, and then the forest supervisor signed this as well. So we intend to be doing noxious weed control work like we've done in the past with the Forest Service along roadsides, gravel pits, campgrounds, et cetera, that way. The funding amount was $64,065.55.
Bill, off the top of your head, what is the worst noxious weed we have in Lewis County?
Today it would be, let's say, Scotch broom, just because of it being so obvious and so on. So we have half a dozen weed wrenches, a mechanical tool that we lend out to folks. And today they're all sitting in my office, so if anybody needs one, I've got one. But for the last 3 weeks, they've been just going in and out of the office. So anyway.
What's your phone number if somebody wants one of
Yeah,
those weed wrenches?
740-1215. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Martin, Public Works Director and County Engineer. Speaking to Resolution 17-165 and 17-166. The first is approving renewal of a lease with Riverside Fire Authority for use of a radio communications site at the Cooks Hill Road Fire Station and authorizing signatures thereon. Lewis County operates a radio facility at the Cooks Hill Road Fire Station in Centralia, and by authority of a lease with Riverside Fire Authority, we have a radio tower there. So this lease is scheduled to terminate, actually has officially already terminated, but will be renewed until May 31st of 2021. That's another 4 years. And the cost is $350 a year to lease this land for a radio tower.
Okay. The second is the proposed acquisition of additional right-of-way for Streamside Drive and Lakeside Drive in Mossy Rock. Resolution 17-131 instructed County Road Engineer to acquire necessary right-of-way from two property owners on Streamside Drive and Lakeside Drive for a drainage improvement project we have in that area. It's come to our attention now that we need a little bit of additional right-of-way to improve the project even more. So this would authorize the acquisition of a little bit more right-of-way. And there's a map if you want to pull it up real quick, if you could please, Candy. So the additional right-of-way are the, along Lakeside Drive there you see the two hatched areas in red. That's the two additional properties that we would acquire with this authorization. Any questions? Thank you. A motion is made and seconded to approve deliberation items, 4 of them, resolutions number 17-163 through resolution number 17-166. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passed. Thank you. We'll call the hearing to order, and this will be resolution number 17-167, hearing to consider revisions of the countywide policies, population allocations. Okay. This time we'll first have staff report, then followed by question and answer period. We will then close the question and answer period and open the hearing for formal testimony. At that time, you will have 3 minutes for public testimony, and then anyone that wishes to testify, you have the sign-up sheet up here, so feel free to come up and sign up. And at this time, we'll go ahead and ask for the staff report.
Thank you, Commissioners. Lee Napier, Director of Community Development. My department has brought this particular matter to your attention today, but I'm going to be turning it over to Fred Evander for the staff report, our long-range planner.
Hi there, Fred Evander, Lewis County Community Development Department, here to present on the revisions, the proposed revisions to the countywide planning policies. This is something that you folks look at every year. It's something that is considered every year by the Planned Growth Committee, which is a group of the various incorporated jurisdictions in Lewis County, as well as you folks. This year, as part of the revisions, we look at it every year. We see if any revisions need to be made. This year, the only changes that we're proposing are changes to the population allocations. The population allocations are essentially what the various communities are planning for. What population are the communities planning for? The main driver for this is because currently the countywide planning policies project out to 2030, but we need to project out to 2040. We need to have a 20-year planning horizon as we're updating our comprehensive plans. Because of that, we took a variety of we looked at historic growth rates for each of the communities. We recommended to certain communities that, you know, it looks like potentially you could handle an additional population. Those communities were Mossy Rock, Napavine, Vader, and Centralia, and each of those took a slightly higher population allocation. Also, we are proposing increasing the unincorporated population allocation, and a lot of the reason for that is because we think that it was likely counted a little low last time. Lastly, I'll just say, well, I guess two things. We're proposing removing Birchfield from the population allocation. They have withdrawn that application, and because of that, we're proposing to remove that, and also we're proposing to add the Onalaska, add some population for Onalaska to create an urban growth area in that area. We've done all the necessary procedural stuff that we have to do with this. We've the Planned Growth Committee forwarded this to the Planning Commission with a unanimous recommendation of approval. The Planning Commission considered it, voted unanimously to forward this to you folks. We've sent it to the Department of Commerce for their 60-day review, all of that. So it's before you. We've run all the procedural stuff for this public hearing. It's before you with, as I said, a Planning Commission recommendation of unanimously that recommended this to you folks. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Looking at the projections of the total resident population at the bottom of the page,
Mm-hmm.
it has low, the census 2010 was 75455, but in 2015, it went lower. So it said 72,000 instead of 75. So tell me about that projection that it went down from what the census.
So great question. So essentially what happens is the Office of Financial Management from the state of Washington gives us 3 population figures to plan for. One is a low population figure, one is a medium population figure, and the last is a high population figure. Office of Financial Management's low population figure actually has population in Lewis County decreasing. We don't think that's going to happen. So you'll see where we are projecting to go with these changes to the countywide allocation is somewhere between the medium and the high. You'll see our ultimate figure that we came to was 104,722 people by 2040. That's you know, right between the medium and high range of Office of Financial Management's projections.
So we don't agree with what they said. Okay.
Well, it's a range. It's a low, medium, and high, and so they just tell you plan within these bounds unless you have good reason to go outside of the bounds. And their bounds are fine. Their low might be a little low. We tend to think their high is a little high too. So.
Thank you.
Okay. First off, thanks for all your work. I know you guys have been working very hard on this, so it's much appreciated.
We have another question.
Okay, we can open up the questions now.
Thank you.
Answer period for public to ask those questions specifically.
Ron Averill, Centralia area. I'm glad to see Birchfield come off. That was the first question that I had when I was sitting out there. I knew that has been sitting in the pot for a long time. And I am pleased to see Onalaska go on, as folks know that I had pushed while I was county commissioner that we needed 2 urban growth areas. The Growth Management Act allows it. But I am curious why Packwood is not included, because that in my estimation, is an area that we can't do anything with until we do make it a urban growth area.
You want to answer that, or should I? Yeah, we agree completely that we think Packwood would benefit from an urban growth area. And originally, when we first started talking about this, we were including in the conversation Onalaska and Packwood as potential urban growth areas. The difference between the two is right now Packwood does not have a sewer system, and the facility plan is such that it would not warrant using that facility plan to create an urban growth area from. Onalaska, on the other hand, has a sewer system. The sewer system has capacity. Also, the water system has capacity. And so based on those things, we felt very comfortable saying we can move forward with Onalaska right now. We would like to move forward with Packwood in the future, but we need to do some additional homework to actually make that work.
All right, I'll testify. I disagree, and I'll say why when I testify.
Okay. Okay, at this time, staff, any other comments or questions? Okay, at this time, we're going to close the question and answer period. And then, would you like to have your opening comments and be incorporated into the hearing?
You bet.
Okay. You bet. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to open hearing for the public testimony, and I think that we probably have one person there. So, Ron, would you like to step up to the mic again?
Right. Thank you very much. As you know, urban growth areas don't have the facilities that exist in the incorporated areas, and so I think that having an area that already contains two of the requirements for an urban growth area is not, in my estimation, the area that we should be using. I think that we would have a better chance with Packwood if we did incorporate that area, remembering that right now we are limited to the Lammert in Packwood.
Right. Yes.
We can't do anything outside of that Lammert. And if you want that community to come along with the business and put a sewer in, you're going to have to create the conditions for growth. So, you know, in my estimation, having a sewer system is not a requirement for being in the urban growth area. And if we want Packwood to grow, and it's very important to me out in, you know, here's a gateway to White Pass, here's a gateway to many things out there. And we need to give it the stimulus so that we can attract folks in. And I think making them an unincorporated urban growth area is something that should happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron. I will tell you there's been lots and lots of discussion. Lots of discussion. Okay, is there anyone else? Okay, at this time then we're going to close the hearing for public testimony.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Resolution 17-167, consider revisions to the Countywide Planning Policies population allocation.
Second.
Okay, a motion is made and second to approve resolutions number 17-167. Any other discussion? All in favor? Oh, discussion?
I was going to ask one question of staff. So how often can revisions be made to the population allocation?
Another good question. We could do it every year.
If we wanted to do Packwood.
If we want to do Packwood, yes, we could do it. We could do it next year.
Okay. Okay, all in favor of resolutions number 17-167?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed. Okay. We have anything for the good of the order?
Well, it just seems like it's been the season. We had the valedictorians, salutatorians last week. We had these outstanding teams, a lot of graduations going on, Century College this Friday, and I'm really proud of our educational institutions, thinking that both Onalaska, my alma mater, and Chehalis were both noted in the Seattle Times. And there's a lot of graduates that are going to be walking on Friday. And it just makes me proud that we have these. Not every county has a college within, and not every county has had 2 of their school districts in the Seattle Times. So I think we have a lot to be proud of and for the future. Because in the past, Onalaska was a failing school. And that was pretty distressing to all of us who had graduated from there. But there were some changes made in that school district, and they are going great guns. So I hope this encourages all of our school districts to, once again, continue on. And with the STEM program, you know, we have a lot to offer our kids in our own county. They don't need to move out of our county to have a good high school or elementary school to go to. We've got it here.
Yes, and one of those, and again, it was the graduation weekend, right? So lots of parties and lots of good times, and we hope that everyone made it home safe and did the smart thing, and it sounds good so far. But last Friday, I was able to attend the Onalaska High School aquaculture program, working with their advisory team, and that is an incredible program. They're over there on Carlisle Lake. What it's about there is they have, I want to say, 3 tanks over there, and of course they've got the smolt there. They've got about 35,000 in there that they're just the little guys, and they want to turn those loose. And again, part of that though is in the common sense world, you would think they would just be able to raise them and turn them loose. Well, that doesn't work like that. Maybe once upon a time it did. So they're working very hard. They're working with the game department, and I know they're working with the tribes, and I know they're working with different fisheries right now, because they would not only like to the arduous task of the way that when they would get returning on steelhead, especially, that come up, I believe it's Deer Creek, but don't hold me to that. I had made some notes here, and they're seeing some returns, but not a lot right now. And the way that they have to handle those fish, they literally have to go down, pick them up, and put them in they don't have a truck like the ones you see in different hatchery operations. So it's quite arduous, and of course they're always looking for a little bit of funding. They would like to have a truck, and they would like to have a boat to be able to go out on Carlisle and do some aquatic species along with other experiments. But Mr. Kevin Hoffman is the instructor out there, and they're just doing a phenomenal job. And I know that we talked to the superintendent, and the meeting lasted a couple hours. And again, we talk about STEM. You know, well, there's one thing, we talk about STEM, and this is hands-on. So these are the things that are really going to get kids engaged. You look at all the opportunities that they will possibly have as far as when they get involved, and I believe out of I think there were probably about 15 kids. All of them have been in the program except for one. She was a transfer for the last 3 years. So they're building and building on that. And and again, there's always a big discussion, which I'm not going to talk about it, is the native population versus the hatchery fish. And I'm not even going to give you my opinion on it, because I would like to give my opinion, but I'm not. So kudos to the Onalaska High School aquaculture program and their advisory team, along with the entire school district for supporting this, because this is where it's at. So congratulations to them, and we will. And I did commit to them that, you know, as from the county end of it, we were always looking for opportunity to help secure grants for operations like that, because it seems like, in my opinion, they always use the word silos. When you have these huge population silos, it seems like that's where most of the money goes. Well, our silo's not very big here in Lewis County, so we need to find out ways of maybe you know, pushing or getting some of that money our way so we can support these types of programs, because this is where it's at, in my opinion. So thanks for, and I really appreciate them inviting me to that too. Okay, anything else? Okay. Any questions from the media or anyone else? You don't have to be from the media, right?
Right.
Okay. Hearing none?
I was going to mention about, we've been celebrating anniversaries, or going to be celebrating. We had a commemoration service for the Japanese folks who were interned that lived in Lewis County that went to Tule Lake. We're gathering steam and celebrating George Washington, our George Washington from Centralia, and his 200th birthday. And this December, what will be commemorating? I don't want to say celebrating, but what do you think we'll be commemorating in December? 10 years ago, a flood happened in Lewis County. So the Flood Authority and the Outreach Committee wants to put some things forward to really help people remember what it was like. I'm thinking about when we were touring with the governor and we were going through Centralia, and we could say, oh, there was 6 feet of water here, or there's 3 feet of water there, but it was hard to envision because everything was brought back to, quote, normal. And we want to renew what happened to us. It could happen again. So you'll be seeing more on that. We're meeting with the Chronicle, I think, tomorrow with Eric Schwartz. And if anybody else wants to meet with us as we put together plans to refresh people's memories, because I think there's been, I would call, flood apathy that comes on. We've had no real big floods for a while, but that possibility is still there. And we're working hard to mitigate that. And do you have anything to say, Commissioner Averill, or I can't do it, Colonel? Former Commissioner Averill, current Colonel. Current Colonel. I just coined a new one.
I think this is a great objective, because you might remember that in 2006 we had been 12 years since we had had a flood. And what happens is the further you get away from a flood, not only you've got new population that didn't experience the previous flood, but people just forget. You know, you tend to forget the worst things that happened to you and remember the best things that happened. We now are 10 years away. Well, actually, we're 8 because because of the 2009 flood. But the 2009 flood was, in my estimation, very instructive, because in 2006, when the flood hit in 2007, because we had been so long, we were totally unprepared. I don't even think that the old Ford got their cars out in time. Then they had a practice of moving those cars to get them out of the flood zone, and we're picking people up off of roofs. And 2009 comes, and people. Well, first of all, our emergency management people did a very good job of getting warning out to people. We had about 5 or 6 days warning. And people started putting out sandbags and getting their stuff off the floor and moving things out. And so with almost as much water in 2009 as in 2007 flood, we had relatively little damage. It was less than $3 million. You know, and we brought in programs to help businesses. But I think that if you went back now and you said how many of the businesses that developed those programs of what they would do in case of a flood, and had they practiced it, or are they still thinking about it, you'd find they aren't. And so, you know, I sit on the state's Emergency Management Council. In fact, I chair that council. And one of our concerns in all of the disasters that we have out there is public education. We need to do a lot more of it to remind people. You know, it was kind of easy when folks had telephone books, and you say, pick up your telephone book and look at the inundation map. no one's got them anymore. So we got to use other ways of getting it out. So I thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Anything more? Having no further business on our agenda, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion is made and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourn. Thank you.
You are invited to immerse yourself in the beauty of nature in all four corners of Lewis County, Washington. From our fields to your table, farms in the west share their bounty. Limitless landscapes, forests and mountains beg to be explored in the east. Fish our many rivers and lakes in the south, and discover where history and culture intersect in our twin cities. Explore it all by visiting our Facebook page and plan your next getaway at discoverlewiscounty.com. Culture, history, and adventure all come alive when you discover Lewis County.